This list is a list of vocabulary that I extracted from the video that we watched during the week, which is road signs. And it's a video that is telling us why some cities are eliminating and getting rid of street signs that we usually use in our everyday commute. So there is a lot of vocabulary in this particular video that was very interesting. It's everyday vocabulary, and we are going to make some questions that we are going to answer literally from the video, right? Isaac, I think you've got the vocabulary, but if you don't have it, screenshot so we can go on through the questions.
Okay, teacher, ready.
Ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. So let's listen to the video one last time before going through the questions. 1, 2, 3, action.
If I showed you two big intersections, one with a bunch of signs, traffic lights, and boundaries, and one with no markings or apparent rules at all, which one would look safer to you? Towns all over Europe are starting to experiment with streets like this, where cars, bikes, buses, and people can travel freely in the same space.
I think this looks like an accident waiting to happen, but I know someone who would know a lot more about this than I do.
I'm Roman Mars from 99% Invisible, and that's what urban planners often refer to as a shared space design strategy. It seems counterintuitive, but there's evidence that getting rid of all signs and barriers might make our streets a lot safer.
So, how does it work? There's a spot in Google Street View where you can witness a town undergoing this exact transformation. This is Poynton, England, about 20 minutes away from Manchester. Here's the city center in May 2011. There's a mess of signs and lights, a few small sidewalks, and some haphazard guardrails to keep pedestrians safe. And here it is in July 2015. Traffic lights, road signs, curbs, all gone.
Something very strange is happening on the streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed, but in some places, pavements and roads have been blurring into one with cars, buses and pedestrians all sharing the same space.
The town spent £4 million to expand sidewalk space and strip the city center of traditional demarcations. Now, the only marker left is this little sign, Poynton Shared Space Village.
The concept is that the absence of separation will make everyone more cautious, so commuters slow down, make eye contact, and negotiate. Watch what happens when a boy in Poynton is encouraged to cross the street without waiting for the cars to clear the intersection. Because cars don't spend time waiting at traffic lights, it takes less time on average for them to get through the crossing. Even when bikers and pedestrians are absent, cars drive slow due to a concept called edge friction. It's the idea that nearby vertical elements in a driver's peripheral vision, like trees or lamps, create a visual cue for how fast they're going. On a highway, those are often totally absent, so the sidelines blur. In a shared space, those lines play an important mental trick to slow down drivers. In theory, shared space works well for pedestrians, allowing them to follow their desired path while walking. Instead of being limited to a strict path, they can walk exactly in the direction they want to go.
In practice, that doesn't always seem to be the case. Video footage of a shared space at Elwick Square in Ashford, England shows that pedestrians mostly still stick to crosswalks, or where a crosswalk would be.
That's largely because these layouts are stressful. The majority of a survey group asked about crossing Elwick Square reported feeling anxious about it. And those pedestrians frequently report that they prefer things the way they used to be.
But the way things used to be is relative. If you look at old footage of city streets in the early 1900s, cars mixed freely with pedestrians, bicyclists, and streetcars. Vehicles couldn't go very fast back then, so there wasn't a huge concern about separating them from walkers and bikers. With plenty of city streets, that's still the case, without any intentional urban planning. But the big question is whether these deliberately stripped down designs actually make people safer.
It seems that in many cases, they do. For one thing, we know that the number of accidents drops after shared spaces are installed. In Ipswich, rates of accidents involving injuries fell from 23 over 3 years to just 1 per year. In London's Kensington High Street, the number of pedestrians injured dropped by nearly 60%. And in Drachten, in the Netherlands, accidents at one intersection fell from 36 in 4 years to 2 in 2 years.
We also know that shared spaces are quantifiably more free-flowing based on analysis of traffic conflicts. With video footage like this from Exhibition Road in London, analysts can rate the severity of a traffic conflict based on the participant's speed and change of course. Before the shared space renovation, one pedestrian had to step back onto the sidewalk to avoid a departing car. Another broke out into a sprint to avoid getting hit by an oncoming van. After the shared space installation, traffic conflicts were less frequent and less severe on average, like this, where pedestrians wait for a cab to cross before continuing. Or this one, where a cyclist changes course to avoid pedestrians.
But that doesn't mean these designs work for everyone.
I think it's the most ludicrous idea I've ever heard. What about
Me too.
blind people,
I know, well, Headley,
children?
yeah, I know.
You know, what about it's gonna be all sorts of
From the beginning, shared space designs have been under fire for providing insufficient protections for disabled pedestrians, especially the visually impaired.
The family of a pensioner who died a month after being hit by a bus have called for traffic lights to be reinstalled at the junction.
Traffic lights here were recently removed to make way for a so-called shared space, but it's a move which has angered David's family.
I'm sure if the traffic lights were there, this wouldn't have happened.
A 2015 House of Lords report called for a temporary ban on shared space designs. And in August 2016, a select committee of the House of Commons launched an inquiry into the accessibility of such environments. Their final report in April 2017 asked the government to put all shared space schemes on hold until they improved the process of consulting disabled communities. Preliminary designs like these by the Danish Building Research Institute give us an idea of what that balance might look like. They include both the mixed traffic of shared space and the raised street textures and button-activated crosswalks that disabled users are used to. Shared spaces can be effective, but for this kind of plan to work across communities, it will require a lot more research to determine what will work in different places and what will serve the needs of all the people sharing the streets.
What an issue. That's a strong issue. But anyway, let's talk about it. We have question number 1. Question number 1 says, what has happened in some British streets recently? Isaac, Mike, good afternoon. Tell me what has happened to some British streets recently? Who has the answer? Of course, in this moment, before listening, we cannot answer literally, but you can answer paraphrasing. What has happened to streets recently?
I think that in some streets or some roads, the houses, the road signs have been removed. So I don't know. I think that it was made by the authorities. So it was done in order to create like a shared space between the pedestrians. Is it correct? I don't want to confuse.
You said it right.
To confuse. Yes, because I remember the last class that I used a different word.
If I didn't interrupt you, you're right.
Okay, thank you.
Go
The
on.
pedestrians, the cars, and also the bicycles. So they are trying to combine all these ways that people used to move, and also made it like work in a how to say, like in a let me think, something like how to say, armonioso, or like
In harmony.
in harmony, yes.
In harmony.
So, and without using any signs, yes.
Nice. Mhm.
But there are some concerns, and it seems that it have worked in some places, but in others there have been some accidents. So it's
Exactly.
something that can be discussed.
Good job. Good job. Technically, you summarized the video in a very splendid way. So let's go through literal information. What
Yeah, I
words
know.
did they use to say what you said?
That's
happens.
a difficult part.
That's a difficult part. That's right. Let's go through the part, and you're going to have a little of a challenge because the person who is going to speak is British. So let's see how many words you can get.
Ah, yes, no
Okay.
worries. I won't get anything.
Come on. What kind of motivation is that? What are you doing? Very, very bad. Okay, so the answer is right here.
Okay.
Something very strange is happening on the streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed, but in some places, pavements and roads have been blurring into one with cars, buses and pedestrians all sharing the same space.
What did you get?
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
I didn't have enough time. I just understand at the beginning that something weird is happening in I don't remember if they mentioned. Well, I think that they mentioned the place, but in UK, I don't remember.
Okay.
Because I don't understand everything. They also mentioned something about the pedestrians and cars, but nah, I don't remember. So let me try
Pedestrians
again. Yes,
and cars.
yes.
Okay, interesting. Let's listen again. Second shot.
Yes.
Into one with cars, but in some places, pavements and roads have been blurring into one with cars, buses and pedestrians all sharing the same space.
Well, I didn't understand. It mentioned that in some, I don't understand places, I think, and roads.
Okay.
They mentioned in some places and roads are being, and then I didn't understand the word, but by the movement of his hands, I understand that they are like being reduced, but I don't remember
Okay.
the word or something
Okay.
like that.
Two questions. Are you saying roads like this?
No, it's incorrect. Some places and roads and
Yes.
yes.
Okay. On some places and roads. Interesting. And then we have something that is happening in UK, pedestrians and cars. Okay.
Yeah, I think that something weird happening in UK. It's at the beginning. Let me think. Yes, I think something weird is happening in it's in the UK. Well, I think that part is at the beginning.
Well,
But yes, I think
wait. We have two
yes.
things happening here.
Yeah.
You are mentioning the order of words are different. So in a moment, you have to tell me the full sentence so I can understand order. No.
Sure.
But before you tell me order, you said something important about Friday's class. Is it
Yes.
UK or the UK?
I think that is the UK.
I agree with you.
In this case, yes.
Why do you need that in this case?
I remember that when we talk about countries, if it's a single country, we don't need the article, but in this case, I'm not sure if it is an exception to the rule or maybe it's because it includes more than one country.
You are saying the exact opposite of the rule. It's the
Really?
exact opposite. When it's single,
we need
that. Exactly.
Okay.
So it's United Kingdom is only one.
Okay.
You see, if it's
Oh yes, because deception way like the like the US, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
The
yes, yes, I
United States,
remember.
because it's plural.
Yes.
You see? Therefore,
Okay,
it's the UK.
the UK.
Now that you have the article, give me order.
Okay, I think that we need to put first something weird is happening in the UK,
Okay.
and then in some places our roads are being something.
Nice. Very good. Okay. Let's listen to it one third time. Are you taking
Okay,
notes, by the way?
I'm trying,
But it's too
but
fast.
yes, and also the accent is a little weird.
Yes,
But
yes.
yes, I found some. I think that I might know the word, but it's something difficult to understand them.
Well, okay. Before I play them, talking about the accent, I think it's very important to establish something. I haven't made that into my slides, but there is something about the letter R, or the pronunciation of the letter R in British
Okay.
English. Let's talk about, for example, the word air that ends in er, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you pronounce that one in British English, look at how the R has a parenthesis on it. That means that some and most of the British people, not all of them, but most of them are going to open the mouth when an R is at the end of the word.
Okay.
So instead of being air, it becomes air.
Air.
Literally, there's no air, no R.
Okay. Yes, yes.
You
Oh,
see?
that's
Uh-huh.
that's difficult.
Whenever you hear a British person speaking, you need to have in mind, they have very, very, very present that they are not going to close the mouth in the R. They are not going to twist the tongue like us. They are just going to open it as if it were a vowel.
Yes, yes. Actually, they are not saying like in the way that we use
Because they are British.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you pronounce this one, try to pronounce this one without the air.
Airplane.
Airplane, exactly.
Airplane. Okay.
Airplane.
You see, there's no R.
Yes. No,
that's crazy.
so tricky. Yes. Yes. I know. I know.
So
I
like
remember.
the biggest difference
Yes.
between British and American pronunciation is the R and the T.
The T?
And I think that one is more obvious than the R. Because when you pronounce, for example, letter, when the T sounds like a da 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 da,
yes.
In British English it will be a strong T. It will be letter.
Okay, okay.
So listen to an American person pronouncing the flap R.
Letter.
And then when you hear an American person, you will hear letter or letter opening the mouth.
Letter.
Okay, okay.
You hear that?
Yes.
So this is the small difference. The rest of the vowels are pretty similar, but these two are the difficult ones.
Okay.
Keep it in mind when he's speaking.
Okay.
Let's go. Third chance.
In some places, pavements and roads have been blurring into one with cars, buses and pedestrians all sharing the same space.
No, I don't have almost idea. I don't know if if he said are being lowered or something like that.
Are being low like this, low?
No, I don't understand the word.
Vocabulary.
Is it in the
Exactly. I know what's wrong.
Okay. Okay, let me open
I know what's
it.
wrong. Yes, let me just go here.
Okay.
Check this out. Tell me what word is used to talk about something that becomes becomes less clear and sharp.
Okay, let me.
The way a person with astigmatism sees.
Oh, could you please repeat the?
Sure. Just because you were the only person connected, I'm gonna give you 3 more chances.
Really?
Yeah.
No, there is also
Rafa and
Michael and
Michael.
Rafa. Yeah.
But
But no,
Rafa just arrived seconds ago, and Michael
okay.
arrived mini seconds
You
ago.
can.
So, Michael, you can.
Thank you for your support.
Very bad, Michael.
I only joined for your support.
See you later, bye, no?
Yeah.
It's like,
You can do this, Isaac, and buy this connection.
It's the number 16.
Somebody says, can you pronounce it?
Blur.
Perfect. Look at the sound. We need pronunciation soundboard. This symbol that you see over here,
Yes.
number 16, that symbol sounds like this.
Raw. Okay.
So how do you pronounce it?
Blur.
Excellent.
But in British accent.
But in British English, exactly.
Yes.
How do you pronounce it?
Bro.
Blur. Exactly.
Blur. Okay.
Blur.
Blur.
Very nice. Very nice. Let's
Okay.
listen.
The concept
Very strange is happening on the streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed, but in some places, something very strange is happening on the streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed, but in some places, pavements and roads have been blurring into one with cars, buses, and pedestrians.
Okay. Yes, he mentioned that are being blurry.
Excellent. Blur.
Yeah. And they mentioned I couldn't. I didn't pay attention to the rest because I just focused on that word.
Yeah, you just focus on that section. I agree with
Yes.
you. Well, anyway, you understand why he mentions blurring,
Yes.
right? If you search what's blur, you are going to see how, no, not the music band, room color view. If you see this, for example, this picture is out of focus.
Yes.
So when something is out of focus, colors start to blur.
No, okay. Okay. Yes, I get it. I think. Yes.
That is precisely what he mentions when he's
Yeah,
talking about shared spaces.
Okay, I think it's something like when you cannot like identify the limit between two shapes, maybe, or between
Precisely.
things.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And
Okay, sure.
removing all the street signs, removing the sidewalk, of course, you are going to see a very similar effect. There's no limit.
Okay. Yes.
You see?
Yes.
You are learning a lot. Yeah, thank you. Thanks. Say thanks to Mike and Rafa and Sylvie for being so late. You are learning everything.
No, that's good. I was practicing more.
Very good. So Isaac is exhausted. His brain is very big in this moment. So let's go now with the next one, okay? So the question is, what has happened to some British streets recently? Right? The guy is telling exactly what is happening. So let's analyze what he says. Isaac had 3 shots already. Let's go now with Rafa. Are you ready, brother?
Me?
Yes, sir. Yes, you.
Um, yeah, yeah, I think.
Excellent. Let's see
Okay.
here. Take notes, eh? Do you have pen and paper?
Let me a second. I will take it.
Go, go, go. Because in this practice, and the rest of you, Sylvie and Mike, too. Go for paper. Paper and pen.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I trust you. I trust you, Rafa.
Let's
you.
listen. 1, 2, 3.
Road signs, curbs, all gone.
Something very strange is happening on the streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed, but in some places, pavements and roads have been blurring into one with cars, buses and pedestrians all sharing the same space.
There's a ant before pedestrians.
Okay. Can you tell me full idea so I can know order of words?
There's the word cars, but cars is after pedestrians in this.
So you have another, you heard another thing, right?
Yeah,
What did you hear?
yeah, I want to move and and cars, the last.
Don't tell me one word and then move it to the right and move it to the left. This is not a map. Tell me a complete idea, a complete sentence.
Something where this happening in the UK. In some places, and roads are being blurred. I listened.
Okay.
Blowing. Something that I didn't understand.
Okay.
Cars and pedestrians.
Cars and pedestrians. Nice. So that is going to be switched like that. Do you agree?
Yeah, just
good.
It's very fast. Yeah. Another time, please.
Sure. I know it's fast, so try to get like a couple of words in order so you can connect them afterwards. I think it's that's the way the brain works. You get 1 to 3 words that are completely disconnected, and then your brain is going to connect these words by context.
Yeah.
So try to catch them. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Action.
Into one with, I don't know if you've noticed,
curbs, all gone.
Something very strange is happening on the streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed, but in some places, pavements and roads have been blurring into one with cars, buses and pedestrians all sharing the same space.
Buses and pedestrians.
Buses and pedestrians, so it's not cars.
Yeah, buses and pedestrians. No, it's cars, buses, and pedestrians.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Do you agree with me?
It's there's a word that I didn't know in some places, and well, I will listen again, and I will try to
get it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen.
Into one with, I don't know if you've noticed, but
all gone.
Something very strange is happening on the streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed, but in some places, pavements and roads have been blurring into one with cars, buses and pedestrians all sharing the same space.
Well, blurring with cars. I think so. And I didn't remember where is this word, but is payment. You're
Oh, there we go. And where is this word? Where do I put this word?
Yeah. In some places, payments and roads.
In some places,
Yeah.
comma, payments and roads.
Yeah, but I don't sure of this word.
Precisely. Me too. Because you're talking about commute, you're talking about street signs. So the word payments have no relation in context, right?
No.
But there is a word that talks about, and I think I didn't get it, I didn't put it in because I assumed that you knew it. That was my bad. Let me check if I have it. No, I didn't put it in. So I would put it next to sidewalk, which is number 10. And I'm going to show you what word this is.
Okay.
Check this out.
Payment. Payment.
Exactly.
Pavement.
With a V, with a strong V.
Pavement.
Pavement.
Yeah.
That
So
sounds very similar. Do you agree with me?
this makes more sense.
Total. In English, in British English, the word pavement is the same as the American sidewalk.
Okay.
Be careful, don't confuse it as the material that is done, because in Spanish is a material, but in
Yeah.
British English is not the material, it's the sidewalk per se.
So they have the same meaning?
No.
No.
Okay, which one? Pavement in the Spanish and in English, or?
No, pavement and sidewalk.
Okay, pavement and sidewalk, yes.
Okay.
But
Okay, sure.
the similar cognate in Spanish
Yes, it's something different.
is something different.
Yes. Okay, sure.
So I'm going to put it as noun, comma, British. That's gonna work for the exam because the exam is in British English. Got it?
Pavement.
It's the same as a sidewalk, just British.
So I want to change my last word.
Your last word, let's go.
Pavement and roads.
Pavement and roads, very good.
The first sentence is incorrect too, but I didn't have a chance to change it.
Do you remember any of them? Of it?
No.
Okay.
I focused in the second sentence, but it's a tip for for the next classmate.
Okay. But you have already one more chance.
Yeah.
Yes, you have one more.
Okay.
Listen. 1, 2, 3.
Town spent
Buses.
signs, curbs, all gone.
Something very strange is happening on the streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed, but in some places, pavements and roads have been blurring into one with cars, buses and pedestrians all sharing the same space.
Okay. First, something very strange is happening in the UK.
Perfect. What else?
Very strange.
Oh, sorry. Perfect.
Yeah. Roads and blurring. I didn't sure, but I'm
not sure. I am not.
Sorry. I'm not sure, but in the sentence, in some places pavements and roads are being blurring with. I think with it's incorrect.
Very good, because when you are talking about a transformation, becoming something,
It's into.
Excellent. This is a collocation. Every time you are talking about transformation, it transforms into. Become into. And blur into something again.
Okay.
Collocation, this is a chunk.
Yeah, and that's all. Yeah, I don't have anything else.
Oh, that's so sad, because the part of in the UK, he never says the UK.
England.
Aha, exactly. So we need to check how he mentions England. And that's gonna be the tip for the next
Okay.
partner. All right, good job, Rafa. Excellent. Let's go with Michael. Michael, finish this.
Okay.
Let's listen.
Road signs, curbs, all gone.
Something very strange is happening on the streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed, but in some places, pavements and roads have been blurring into one with cars, buses and pedestrians all sharing the same space.
I understood the last part that after the pedestrian is all sharing the same space.
But don't tell me position of words. Tell me complete ideas, or at least phrases.
Okay, the pavement and the roads are being buried into the cars, buses and pedestrians, all sharing the same.
All sharing?
The same space.
The same space. Very good, brother.
I understand other word before the some places.
Okay, but don't tell me position.
Is noticed.
Give me portions of information.
Okay. And the UK period, the next is noticed. Oh, I understand the correct phrase.
Excellent.
Noticed.
Correct. Very nice.
I only okay. That's it.
And
Can you
that's
repeat
it.
that?
Second chance. Let's go.
The streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed, but in some places, something very strange is happening on the streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed, but in some places, pavements and roads have been blurring into one with cars, buses and pedestrians all sharing the same space.
I think is if you noticed.
Very good. Very, very good. You Michael, noticed the most difficult part that nobody got? Yeah. With 3 students later, we didn't have this sentence.
This sentence is very fast.
Exactly. It's when you are speaking fast, you normally put sentences like between as introduction, etc. This is like an introduction to the next idea. So it's very, very close.
British. I have a question about. I think the audio never said UK. This is on the street. British. Or I don't know. Is only the streets? Or I don't know. Can you repeat the audio?
Sure. Yes, of course. Third chance.
Road signs, curbs, all gone.
Something very strange is happening on the streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed, but in some places, pavements and roads have been blurring into one with cars, buses and pedestrians all sharing the same space.
No, I don't understand. I only if you notice, but in the some places.
But where is it happening? Something very strange is happening.
Something very strange is happening in. I understand the street. I don't know what they correct on the street.
That's correct. On the street or in the streets, because it's different.
In the street.
In the street. You're
No,
very close.
on the street. On the street.
On the street? That's far.
Okay.
She never says on.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why. There
Okay.
is a massive difference. If you say on the street, it's because it was on the ground. Like, for example, I found 20 pesos on the street.
Okay.
And if you use in the streets, plural, you are speaking about the general landscape or display of objects in the street. So therefore, they have different meanings.
Yeah. This case, I think in the street.
In the street, close.
No.
Close.
Oh,
but
on
that's
the
your
street?
third chance.
Okay.
Because yes, in this moment we are not sure if it's in or on, and if it's street or streets.
Okay.
You agree?
Yeah.
Let's keep it over there and let's go to the next. Can Silvana speak? Or do we pass to Isaac?
She cannot speak, but she can write.
She can write. So she can write in the chat. And meanwhile, Isaac, 1, 2, 3 action.
Okay. I think that could you wait?
Sure.
I think that they say something very strange happening. I don't know. I'm not sure if they say in the street, but they don't. If let me check what I write. Well, I don't know if you notice.
Exactly. Yes. I don't know if you noticed.
Yes. And in some places, payments and roads are being blurred and it's missing. In some places, pavements and roads are being blurred into one.
Exactly.
Into one car, buses, and pedestrian, all sharing the same space. Yes, I think.
Very, very nice. Because you cannot say that a road is blurring into a car.
Yes.
No,
well, sometimes, but
I mean, if the car trespasses the 4th dimension, probably, but that's
well, when there are accidents, it could happen.
okay. That could happen. Yes,
but yes,
the car gets destroyed at the end of it. I mean, you get the point, no? It's like sounds very strange.
Yes. Okay, and let me check. Sometimes in the street, if you notice, I think that we need a connector between notice and in some places.
Exactly.
Yes, maybe it could be both in some places.
Both?
I'm not sure.
But both is not a connector. Both is a description. When you say, I need, do you want chocolate or strawberry? I need both.
Okay, no. I'll say, oh no. Pero, but.
Yes, your pronunciation, I understood both.
Oh, yes. No,
watch
yes.
Watch out.
Both. But. Oh, but. Okay.
I agree with you. You are totally correct. According to the rules of commas, the comma goes before the connector part.
Yes. Yes, and let me check something very strange happening in the streets. In the street. Well, no, I think that's it for now.
That's it for now. Okay, before I play the audio, remember rules of punctuation that we saw some months ago. Where do we need a period?
Something in the street. I don't know. Maybe after a street.
We don't know because we don't have information yet there.
Okay,
we have suspension marks.
Yes. in the street. I don't know if you notice, but I don't know, but in some places, space. I think that maybe to separate the ideas, but some there is things happening in the streets. No, teacher, I cannot find the place.
No, really?
No, very strange happening.
The first idea is impossible to correct because we still need more
Yes,
information.
we don't have the information.
And then we get person verb complement. I don't know. And then we have connector if.
That's only one sentence.
That's only one sentence.
Yes.
When you start but, you need to open with a new idea.
Yes.
In some places, comma, this is the connector, the place, the location context, separated by a comma. Person verb complement. Pavements and roads is the subject.
Yes.
Are being blurring is the verb.
Okay. And the
complement is into one cars. Into one cars. Does it make sense? Into one cars?
No, into one.
Into one
point.
period.
Oh yes, I noticed that. Okay, yes. You need to add the point. Yes. Cars, buses, and
Comprehension.
yes, because it is it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes. We have, they are blurring into one. The pavements and the roads are blurring into one, and cars, buses, and pedestrians all sharing the same space.
Okay. Yes.
That makes sense. Surprise. Now, let's listen again. Let's finish this sentence.
The streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed, but in some...
All it is,
something very strange is happening on the streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed.
No, I couldn't understand. He speaks really fast.
Really?
Or yes, I think that, or I don't know, but no, it's happening in the streets, and there is a word that I didn't understand.
Wow, that's so interesting. Okay, let's listen again.
Yeah.
Verbs all gone.
Something very strange is happening on the streets of Britain.
No, I don't understand. Something. No.
A what?
No, I didn't understand.
What is interesting is that you are saying a couple of phonetics that are right. With what letter does the word start?
With B, I think. Brick.
Yes.
Biker. I don't know.
Okay, if you cannot find the word, it's because you're not understanding the first sentence.
Okay. Something very strange happening in the street. Okay. Yes, I think that I understand that part, but I don't know the word.
In which streets are we talking about?
In which street?
Uh-huh.
Is it a name? No.
First, is it only one street?
No, I think that we are talking about more than one place.
Then we need to speak in plural.
Yes, streets.
Streets. And if it's plural, streets where? Mexico?
No, no, I don't remember the name of the place.
Where is this guy from?
He's from UK, right?
That's another name for UK that starts with B. Oh my god. Okay, probably you're not familiar with the word. Or probably you are, but yes, you are. You know this.
Britain. Okay, yes, I am.
Yes, of course. The Great Britain is the full name, and well, not the full name, like the official name, let's say.
Yes.
And the more colloquial way to say it is Britain.
Okay, yes, Britain. Yes, yes, I think I have heard that word, but I don't use it too much.
Precisely. So we can
Yes.
change that. We can use like adapt this new word so you can get more familiar with it, and now you can understand it. But of course, it's about connecting phonetic and
Yes, the
context
context.
because,
Yeah.
of course, they are going to
Yes.
speak about their own country. No, it's like when Andrade Legarreta speaks about Roma.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
So let's listen again.
Signs, curbs, all gone.
Something very strange is happening on the streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed.
In the streets, I think that he says in Britain.
In Britain, incorrect.
Oh.
Let's listen again. Oh, what happened? In the streets. Oh, okay. Britain.
I think that let me try. Oh no, it's very in the experience. No, I don't know. I think that maybe we can add like a possessive or something that like of Britain or something like that, but I'm not sure.
Precisely. You are totally correct.
Of Britain.
The connector is off.
Yeah,
You know why?
Because we are talking a place that this is in this country, no? In that specific country.
Yes, but okay, that's the reason why we need the connector off.
Yes.
But that is not the reason why we didn't hear it. When we are talking about when we are talking really, really fast, the connector off sometimes loses the consonant.
Okay.
Especially,
really weird.
Check this out. The letter of has a sound in Spanish and in English too. It's a f. That if you look, we don't have it in the pronunciation.
Yes.
Neither in American English nor in British English. The pronunciation that we make is incorrect.
Okay.
It's not off. It's using the phonetic. What we have here. And we get
of.
Try to pronounce it, everybody. Of. Everybody, Rafa, Michael. Of. Excellent. So we should stop pronouncing off because we pronounce off and we expect that a native person will pronounce the same. And
yes.
This is a mistake. That's the reason we don't understand.
Okay.
When you connect a V with a B, the V is going to vanish because the B is stronger. So it will become a Britain. In the streets of Britain. Everybody pronounce in the streets of Britain.
In the streets of Britain.
Don't separate it. Together, of Britain.
Of Britain. Of Britain. Okay.
That connection of words is, of course, it's not a contraction, but it's a phonetical connection. In the streets of Britain. And finally, there is an and after that that sounds like and I don't know.
Okay, but I think that he pronounced almost everything together, or what?
Precisely.
Yes.
When I think it's the effect of the F here that gets banished or gets blurred with the B, and the D disappearing when there is a vowel after it. So pronounce everybody. Britain and I. Britain and I.
Britain I.
Britain and I.
Again, Britain and I.
Britain and I.
Britain and I. So, in the streets of Britain and I.
In the streets of Britain and I. In the streets
Nice.
of Britain and I.
Very good, Isaac.
Okay.
It's difficult, right?
Yes.
But that's natural.
Yes.
These type of connections are very, very natural.
Okay.
Now let's listen to the full sentence.
But verbs all gone.
Something very strange is happening on the streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed, but in some places, pavements.
Did you catch it?
Yes. Yes, it makes more sense now that I know what he's saying.
What words are they? Exactly.
Yeah.
The subtitles help. Captions
Yeah.
will always help. But of course, it's better when you have the ability to caption it without
Yes, of course. Without any additional help.
Exactly. Just like that. Very good job. That was a teamwork.
Yes.
Also very good teamwork.
I started and I finished it.
Exactly. everybody passed. That was a difficult one. That was a difficult one. Okay, then let's go then with we get 5 more minutes because I need. Jesus, I am super busy today, but let's do something. I'm going to give you a little bit of a homework. Okay? Answer at least one of the following questions that I have for you. Okay? Question number 1. Now, question number 2 is going to be why? What do they think? What do they think? It's safer. You know, what we answered, to blur pavements and roads together. Number 3. What do you oh yeah, we need to answer first. What's edge friction? It's a concept that they use to describe the theory behind this idea. Number 4, what do people think about crossing shared spaces? Number 5, why is how things were relatively better? According to the narrator. Number 6. Did shared spaces work for everyone? And the last one. What conflicts do shared spaces help solve? Which I think number 7 and number 6 are going to be swapped because in the order of information from the video, first they speak about conflicts and then 7 they speak about the tragedy that happened to this guy who unfortunately didn't expect that shared spaces was bad for, right? That's going to be for homework. One of them. Tell me one extra answer and send it to me via WhatsApp and or email. Okay?
With this homework is like this exercise with the exactly words.
Oh, sure. Yes, of course. Exact, not exactly. Remember, exactly is an adverb.
Exact words.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's precisely. Choose the one that is easier for you and
Okay.
answer it. Okay?
Yeah.
We're going to finish a little bit of minutes earlier because one, Rafa is sick, and two, we have a visitor and I need to speak to him. Okay? So
Sure, teacher.
I hope you feel better, Rafa. Have a good day, guys.
Yeah, good, teacher. Bye.
I think.
See you later.
How do you know that?
Well, you don't sound so fresh, you know?